civil action JC 808 of 2024, Adderley versus Macintosh Adderley. How you doing, sir? Step forward for me, please. How you doing, Mom? Step forward for me, please. I'm going to say the oath, and I would like you all to repeat after me whilst holding the Bible. Do you understand that, sir? Do you understand that, Mom?
Sir.
Okay. Hold on, slowly. Good. I swear by the Almighty God
I swear by the Almighty God
that the evidence
that the evidence
which I shall give
that I shall give
shall be the truth,
shall be the truth,
the whole truth,
the whole truth,
and nothing but the truth.
and nothing but the truth.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, sir. Places.
Gregory Adderley says he wants his stepmother out of the house he once shared with his mother and father, who are now both deceased. Defendant Jennifer McIntosh Adderley says she's not going anywhere because she made that house a home.
All rise. The Honorable Justice Carol Munnings presiding. You may be seated. Your Honor, the parties are already been sworn in, ready to be seated.
Thank you, Corporal.
You're welcome, Mom.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
All right, I have the matter with Adderley versus Macintosh Adderley. You're Mr. Adderley?
Yes, I am.
You're Macintosh Adderley, ma'am?
I am.
All right, Gregory Adderley, you say that your mother and father have died. However, your father married a second time and leaves behind a widow. This is his widow. You claim that the house your mom and dad shared was in fact your mother's house, but since passing away, your father's wife is claiming ownership. And you say the house should actually belong to you and your brother.
Yes.
I see. Mrs. Jennifer McIntosh Adderley,
Yes, ma'am.
you say the house belonged to your husband. And since he died without a will, you should inherit it, and that when he lived there, Mr. Adderley never helped with the bills.
Correct.
I see. Yes, Mr. Adderley, what is it you have to say?
Well, Your Worship, the only thing I have to say is God doesn't recognize the second wife. He recognized the first wife. So
Where you got that from?
whatever things
I
she
mean,
believes,
wait. Where you got that
that
from?
ain't her.
Sorry, the claim information that I have is that you are claiming that it's your mother's house.
Mm-hmm.
So how you?
My mother is the first wife.
Yes. What was your mother's name?
Tiffany.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so Tiffany was. You're saying that it was Tiffany's house?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know that?
Because it actually wasn't her house first. It was my grandfather's house. Her father who passed. And he left it to her.
Right. And she was married to your father at the time she passed?
Yes.
Okay. How long were they married?
28 years.
Okay. Do you have any siblings?
One brother who lives in the States.
Okay. So is that the house that you grew up in?
Yes, I did.
Okay. So when your mother died, did you all have the estate probated?
No, we did not.
Okay. You continued to live there after she died?
Yes, I did.
And your father also continued to live there?
Yes.
I see. Okay. But y'all never got any probate for the estate?
No.
Did your mother leave anything else? Did
No.
she leave you anything else, or was
No.
just the house?
Just the house.
Miss McIntosh Adderley.
Yes, ma'am.
So what exactly is happening? What's the situation now between yourself and Mr. Adderley?
Mr. Adderley, first, he's a defense force officer, ma'am.
Yes.
who doesn't repay. He's never paid because he never brings anything into that home. When I married his father,
Yes.
he moved me out of a residence for which I lived,
Yes.
and he brought me into that house, which was in a terrible state.
Okay.
I had to do major repairs, which I had no problem doing, and I had no problem assisting and allowing him to still live there. But
Right.
the young man is lousy. He brings nothing into the home. His father had to periodically beg him to clean up his room. I brought somebody in to help take care of his father because he became ill,
Right.
and it was no problem.
Right.
I had no problems with them at all.
Yes.
I did major renovations to make it a home.
I see. She did major renovations? Well, did you see renovations done?
A little bit. Minor things.
Okay.
Minor things.
I see. How much did you spend on renovations?
Ma'am, and it's just so sad that I have, because I'm living there.
Yes.
And I made it comfortable for everybody.
Right.
I have my receipts book right here with all of the receipts. I first started when I got there.
Yes.
I had to paint the place up.
Right.
I had to change some cabinets. I had to
I
change
see.
the refrigerator that wasn't working. They were putting stuff into a cooler with ice. I had to have the
No.
water turned on. They were using an outside pump. I had the
So you
bathroom repaired.
sound like you rescued them. How did Miss, you know what, Mr. Adley? I'll come back to you. Let her finish telling her side, okay? And then I'll come back to you. Yes, ma'am.
And all of this was never a problem, you know. He used to describe me to his friends
Right.
as the best other mother.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Yes,
And then
okay.
as soon as his father died, for which I had the responsibility, that was my husband.
Yes.
Not only to care for him for the 8 months that he laid there, having to bring in a nurse.
Right.
And doing other work and
Wow.
taking care of the bills.
Right.
I also was just taking care of the home and taking care, I loved him as a son.
You mean this one?
Both of them, the one in the States who periodically calls.
Yes.
Because I asked him why he didn't call him to come to this case today. He was not even interested.
Coming up on Justice with Judge Carroll.
My husband, being the contractor,
Yes.
finished the house.
Okay.
And they lived in it as their home, as their marital home.
Where are the papers for the house then?
My brother in the States has it. And she said she spoke with him. I just spoke to him before I walked in the courtroom.
Justice with Judge Carroll is brought to you by Carey's Fabric and Uniform Store.
To get your case heard, call 242-445-4955 or email us at info@judgecarroll.net.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No, let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the sunshine room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.
That's ZNS Digital?
Yeah, that's ZNS Digital, the people station in your pocket.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. A new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marcellus Hall and LaDon Davis. Live, starting September 16th. Justice with Judge Carroll.
Well, what do you know about the ownership of the house? Because Mr. Adley here, Gregory, is saying that it was his mother's house that she inherited from her grandfather, from her father, his grandfather.
Okay, she might have inherited, but what I was made to understand that she inherited a house being built. It was not completed. My husband, being the contractor,
yes,
finished the house.
Okay.
And they lived in it as their home, as their marital home.
And then you moved in after...
I had nothing to do...
No, I mean, I'm not saying during that time.
Okay,
I mean,
yes,
after her, after she passed, after Tiffany passed. And then...
I met the father.
Right.
We became an item.
Yes.
And then we got married, and then he moved me out of a home for which I was living.
Yes.
And moved into the home.
But what I'm trying to find out, though, is... So where the papers for this house? Who owns the house?
Nobody could show me, because I'm asking them. As far as I knew, my husband, it was his home that came to him, or he had some rights in, after his wife passed.
So Mr. Adley, so what is this dispute? When did you decide? I mean, you're saying that you own the house. Are you living in the house now?
Yes, and I'm the oldest child.
Are you? Excuse me? You are living in the home?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what he just said.
No, ma'am. He hasn't been there, living in that home, for over 5 months. It became a problem after the father died.
Right.
I got family in Andros who sends me lobster and fish and.
Right.
And he has parties like it's no tomorrow, like those are his. I have to periodically. I had to cut the cable off.
Right.
Because I don't watch cable.
Right.
Because when the cable bill comes,
right.
I think he's a pervert because there's more pornography that's been subscribed. 1 month I paid over $200, and half of it was for porn, ma'am.
Mr. Adley? Yes. Well, let me say something. My concern really, I'm trying to find out about the ownership of the house. Mm-hmm. You are asserting that it's your house.
Yes.
Because it was your mummy's house.
But where house.
But where are the papers for the house then?
My brother in the States has it. And she said she spoke with him. I just spoke to him before I walked in the courtroom.
Everybody spoke to him and he's not here.
And I don't have any papers. I'm trying to understand because, you see, what were you paying? Because Mrs. McIntosh Adley here is saying that you didn't make any contribution to the household. Lie. So what were you doing then? You tell me. You're here in court. You standing up. Tell me.
I renovated the roof myself out of my pocket. As my father was living, I renovated the roof. I put in the windows. Because the windows, they were old.
Now, you've brought this case to court, so you must have some documents to show me for that. You can't just stand up and tell me you renovated a whole roof. Can't be. How much were you paying per month towards the expenses? Because you were living there,
yes.
Right? So how much were you paying?
$1,500 per month.
$1,500?
Per month.
$1,500? Where?
My father was sick.
Yeah, but
so
you did
some of the work.
And where you put that money?
I put it in the roof, in the repair.
No,
hose,
no.
Cable bill, phone bill.
Mr. Adley, I know I look young, but I'm really not that young. I mean, no. That's not going to fly in here.
Well, Bishop, I'm going to say this.
Your defense, Miss McIntosh Adley says you're a defense force officer?
Yes, I am.
Right, so you get paid monthly?
Yes, I do.
Right, how long have you worked there?
10 years.
10 years?
Mm-hmm.
And you've been living in your daddy's house 10 years, or your mommy and daddy's house 10 years. Paying what, $1,500 a month?
Yes,
that's 2 mortgages, man. What? Okay. So what else you have to tell me? Because you are just telling me lots of stories that are that sound to me to be very far-fetched. Mm-hmm. I have to tell you that, right? if you've paid all this money that you say you've paid, I imagine you must have some kind of documentation or some information you could give me. You can't just stand there and tell me, well, your brother has it and your brother's in the States. Because that isn't going to fly here. Come on now.
Well, Your Worship, I understand all of that. Either she comes out today, or...
What?
That's it.
So your mother died. You're saying that it was her house because it was her grandfather's house. So,
Her father's.
sorry, I keep saying grandfather. Her father's house, right? So, and then Mrs. McIntosh Adderley says she was moved into the house by your father because she had her own house she was living in.
Well, she could go back to her own house. Simple.
But, well...
And they wasn't really married. There was common law marriage. They ain't had no wedding ceremony. There was no marriage license, none of that. She just shacked up with my daddy.
She was supposed to come to you to get a marriage license?
No, but they
So
just
how do you
shacked up.
know exactly? Because you get a marriage license from where?
The registrar.
Exactly. Are you the registrar?
No.
Okay. So therefore, it's not for you to say if she was shacking up or not. Because you don't have that information because you didn't grant the license. So don't tell me about if shacking up or not.
Well, wedding?
Sorry?
Daddy didn't have no wedding.
Or you didn't go to it.
Oh, it was a